That's better. Nice and comfy. Oh, hello there. My name is Zach Jones. Do I know you from somewhere? What's your name? Ah, yes, now I remember. Are you here to listen to my story? Are you sitting comfortably? Have you got something to eat and something to drink? Have you been to the bathroom? Oh, good. Now, I'm going to tell you a story to put a smile on your faces during this difficult time. An Untold Tale from my novel series. Enjoy. Thomas of Redhill leaves the Realm Rangers. The young Realm Ranger, Thomas of Redhill, walked down to the docks of the island Galloway. His panther, Idris, named after his brother, was by his side as he walked down to the docks with a huge sack slung over his shoulder. The Realm Rangers are people who can travel between the worlds in different ways. Thomas's way is his enchanted hand. He received it from the great and powerful sorcerer Merlin the Wise after the Dark Raven, Cornelius Segan, destroyed his homeland, his family, friends, and cut off his right hand in a sword fight. Thomas swore he'd get revenge that day. After Thomas had buried and cremated the last bodies of his family, friends, and people of Redhill, he was on his own, the last of his kind. Poor Thomas. Such a sad life. But then, the great sorcerer known as Merlin the Wise came to him and gave him an enchanted hand. It allowed him to travel between the worlds, using the magic of Merlin and many other abilities. But it came at a price, as all magic does, as you probably heard Rumpelstiltskin say. He now has to wear a silver metal gauntlet with jewels encrusted into the knuckles of it to protect others and contain his powers, as the last person who touched his bare hand burst into flames. Then, after Merlin gave him the hand, he began his quest for revenge alone, until he met the Realm Rangers and made a few friends. He was also looking for his brother, Idris of Redhill, who wasn't among the dead when Redhill was destroyed, so he went looking for him as well as a way to kill the Dark Raven. It's getting darker now, people. Not the light, the story. It's getting dark now. So, if you have kids with you, make sure they're supervised. He knew it was time to leave the Realm Rangers for good, as his quest for revenge was too much for them, and he would have to find a way to kill the Dark Raven alone. "Thomas, wait up!" yelled Teresa, a fat and black-haired dwarf girl who was very fond of Thomas. He turned to see her running towards him, her ranger cloak flapping round behind her as she ran to him, and then eventually she stopped in front of him, panting for breath. "Thomas, please don't go," she said. She panted as the Redhill half-elf looked down at her with his emerald green eyes. "Let's get your tissues now, people, as you might shed a tear or two." "I'm sorry, sweetie, but I can't be here anymore. I knew this day would come 12 years ago when I joined. I've got to find a way to kill Segan. He took everything from me. I need to take my revenge by whatever means necessary and find my brother. I'm sorry, Teresa, but I'm the last of my kind, and all I have left is revenge. I will miss you." Thomas finished. Teresa threw her arms around Thomas to hug him. He hugged her back, and then he walked to his boat. It was a large dinghy which had all of his things in from weapons, clothes, fishing stuff, and a few bottles of rum. I love rum, don't you? Really nice stuff. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, Thomas climbed into the boat with Idris by his side. Then he untied the rope and left for the sea. He turned to Teresa as he sailed out to the open seas. "Goodbye, Teresa. I'll miss you, my dear," he called. Then he saw the rest of the rangers he was close to, who beside her and waving to him. He waved to them all. Then he steered his boat onward into the horizon as the sun reached its highest, as it always did in midday. "Goodbye, Thomas! Goodbye!" yelled Theros, a high elf warlock who was a good friend to Thomas. "Oh, I am going to miss that boy. He was a good ranger." Teresa wiped a tear from her eyes and nodded. Then, as they walked back to their leader, Darason of Greenland, a big and stocky mountain dwarf who dreamed of going to the Realm of Bavalon to claim the riches there. They knew that he and Thomas had never got along. He was always threatened by Thomas and constantly thought Thomas was going to steal his place as leader and have him kicked out of the Realm Rangers. He was one of the minor reasons why Thomas had left the Rangers, but they kept that information to themselves. Good thing, don't you good thing to do, don't you think? I think so. Don't have to agree with me, but I think it was a good thing they did that. "Well, lads, I have here," he pulled out a roll of darkish grey parchment from his cloak, "the map of the realms. With this map, we'll be able to reach Bavalon." He stopped as he unravelled the map and saw that the middle, where the charts connect, had been cut out. "Redhill," he snarled. As Teresa laughed, Theros smiled, and the others looked out at the horizon as they knew Thomas had done this. Cheeky beggar, isn't he? I quite agree. That's one of the reasons I wrote this story about him, because he is a really good character, Thomas of Redhill. Meanwhile, in the open ocean of Thesteros, Thomas hoisted up his Redhill army flag, humming an old Redhill song to himself as he did so. As he tied down the rope to hold the flag up, he walked to the back of his boat and sat down to look at the charts he took from Darason before he left. "Okay then, Idris. Let's see which way we need to go to get to Bavalon and find the Dark Raven," Thomas said as his panther sat down beside him and he unravelled the charts of the realms. It was like a puzzle where he had to connect the pictures together. As soon as he did so, he saw that to get to Bavalon he must create a portal to the north, about 500 miles northeast. Very bad place to be, if you ask me, he said to his panther. But if the Dark Raven is there, that's where we need to go." Then Thomas pulled a bottle of rum from his bag, prized it open, and looked at his compass. At the compass he stole from Darason as well as the map. The hand of the compass pointed northeast. Thomas knew that was where he had to go, so he turned the rudder left, and the boat turned and sailed in the direction the compass pointed at. Well, Idris, soon we'll be in Bavalon, and he can destroy Segan once and for all, Thomas said, then sipped his rum. The ex-Realm Ranger sailed off into the setting sun with his quest for revenge in his mind, and his panther, her friend, at his side. The end. Did you enjoy that story? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, look, I'm glad you did. And also, remember, stay indoors until the government say we can go outside, even though Johnson is in charge, and I hate that guy. Right. Auf Wiedersehen. Tune in next time. I'm Doodle Pip.